Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Eternals Gilgamesh Build-A-Figure Wave. Here we have Kumail Nanjiani's character Kingo. So this one is actually a pretty good looking one. Kind of similar to what I had talked about on Fastos, how I like how purple and black really look together. We get a much deeper or darker purple and a lot of black actually in here. So Kingo looks really nice. He looks to have a little bit more added paint and detail compared to some of the other figures, so I'm excited about that. And unlike majority of the other figures that don't have any kind of cosmic power effects whatsoever, the only other one being Icarus, well, I guess maybe you can kind of count Thena since her weapons are going to be of that cosmic energy. But Icarus has the alternate head with the eyes that are kind of like powering up. They're not necessarily the lasers actually shooting out of his eyes. But in the trailer, we see Kingo shoots cosmic rays at his fingers. So we actually get interchangeable hands for those. So that is actually pretty cool. So I'm glad we get something finally with these figures, because they've been pretty lacking in terms of accessories other than a pair of alternate hands. But I mean, hands are cool, but with nothing for them to do with those hands, it's kind of weird. But anyway, we have the Eternals movie logo there. Up at the top, we get that E in the corner that says Build-A-Figure Gilgamesh. Here we have that side artwork of Kumail Nanjiani, and that looks pretty good. This dude got ripped for his movie role. It's like insane. His bio reads, "In the Eternal, with the power to project cosmic energy projectiles from his hands, Kingo over the centuries became enamored with the idea of fame." So that is interesting, because we know that he becomes a Bollywood star, I believe, right? From what little we know about each individual characters and things like that. But anyway, here we have the entire wave. We're almost to the end. I know it seems like it's been taking forever. I've had the wave for a while now, but other figures kind of took priority on the reviews. But we're on Kingo, so only Druig left before we look at the Gilgamesh Build-A-Figure. So there he is. So now let's get him out of the box. Okay, so here is the Kingo figure out of the package, and he's actually pretty cool. I really like the colors on this guy. We get this nice purple color, some black, we got some gold, some silver in there, and we get this like dark indigo or like slate gray with like a slight bluish hue. That's the color of like the feet, the inside of his legs here, a little bit on the side, on the shoulders, and it just looks really damn good. The colors on this guy are freaking awesome. One thing to note before we get into it, because everyone, you know, is talking about how much they hate these figures and don't like the designs and the worst ever peg warmer wave of the year, worse than the Shang-Chi wave, all this and that. I get it. I understand. They're not selling as fast as other Legends. I completely get it. Remember, Target stores are getting full cases, solid cases of individual characters. They are not getting the assortment cases. They are not getting the full wave. So this Kingo figure you will not find at Target. So for all of you guys that are saying, "Oh, I saw the entire wave at Target," they're just sitting there. Nobody's buying them. Kingo ain't there. Sprite isn't there. So yes, they're likely still going to peg warm. I will concede that fact, but it is still early to say for like they are completely peg warmers and nobody buying it. Some people are, less people for sure, but heads up on that. You will not find Kingo at Target stores, so you're going to have to get him online or find at Walmart or other stores, but Target will not have Kingo. He is online only. Same with Sprite. These two figures are online only with Target for whatever reason. They did not want to sell in-store. Instead of the assortments, they're doing the solid cases, which is a stupid idea to begin with, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, moving on, we have here, it looks like the left arm to the Gilgamesh Build-A-Figure, so I'm excited to build him. So we'll throw that off to the side. For the, and I had an extra hand for Gilgamesh, and I'm thinking, well, which hand is it? It's a left, so it's got to be that one. I don't know if that one's it or not. I might have to check. Because they have a very similar skin tone, and I threw that fist and I don't even know where it went. So Kingo and Gilgamesh have a very similar skin tone, and now I don't know which hand was which. So I'm going to have to look at that, pay attention closely. But anyway, we get these two cosmic blast effect hands here. These little blast effects are a separate piece on his fingers, but they're glued on. Like those things aren't going to come off unless you heat them and try and break the glue, but I pulled on them a little bit. They do not come off. And then, of course, he has fists, one for the right and for the left. So let's get in for a closer look at the details, because I love the colors on this guy. Okay, here's a close-up look at Kingo. Looking at the resemblance to Kumail Nanjiani, I think it's there, but it's for sure goofy looking. Now, Kumail is has been known to be a comedic actor. You know, I'm sure he does stand up, so he is a comic. So the figure, you know, I don't know if that's kind of the expression they were kind of going for, or how that kind of worked out. It's similar to like the Scott Lang Ant-Man, the Paul Rudd head sculpt from Ant-Man and the Wasp. It just kind of has that goofy expression. It also reminds me similar to the Infinity War 3-pack of Thanos, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange, where the head sculpt for Benedict Cumberbatch Doctor Strange, it looked good, but it had kind of a goofiness to it. Not that he looks goofy, but I felt that it had the style of the head sculpt almost reminded me of like an animated show, like an animated version. And I talked about that in my Doctor Strange review, and probably in my Doctor Strange Supreme What If review. But I kind of get that same thing here. The head sculpt isn't perfect. This is maybe how Kumail looked before he got all ripped and jacked and everything. Now his cheekbones are all like defined and everything because he's like slimmed down like an insane amount and built on a bunch of muscle mass. So maybe that's what's going on with it. But again, I see the resemblance, but it's just kind of goofy looking. I don't think his hair really perfectly looks like this in the movie as well. Maybe at certain times. I think a lot of times when it shows him, the wind is blowing his hair around and it kind of looks a little bit off. But at least that's what I'm thinking. But you guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of the head sculpt. But anyway, looking at the details of the suit, I mean, just look at that. Just absolutely incredible. Let me brighten this up a little bit. Maybe we could see a little bit more. So look at the differences in the color. So here's that like slate grayish blue color I was telling you about. And I just love the way that color looks. Like here on the shoulder, a little bit here as well on the forearm. But even down here, like the boots or the feet, I should say, and then the inner leg, we get that same color. But I love the colors of this guy and how it all just comes together. Looks fantastic. I don't care for like the robe piece of the costume. It, you know, it overhangs a little bit. It's going to hinder the legs an insane amount, but you know, it doesn't look as bad as like Fastos does. Maybe it's because the size of it just looks a little funky. So it has kind of similar things going on. So, you know, we're going to be limited in the legs. But the colors just pop and really stand out. And there's so much detail in this suit compared to like Fastos. Even if there's no paint on all these different lines, it just looks fantastic and really, really stands out. I really like the way it looks. Man, I'm impressed by the design. It is really nice. You see, we do have pinless knees and pinless elbows. But yeah, the design just looks really good. And then looking at all the circular designs and everything in there, we get some gold paint actually in some of those lines, which is nice over that silver. Just looks really good. This guy might be my favorite figure of the wave instead of Icarus now, because the colors and everything, he just looks fantastic. Really, really like it. So now let's see his articulation. Realize I didn't really take a close look at these the Cosmic Blast power effects. So you can see there, you can actually see the fingers actually inside of that blast effect. But again, they're glued in there. They're not really coming off. And it looks pretty good. We almost have like this spirally look to the blast effect as it goes out. So that is pretty cool. Of course, they are soft, so you could get it warped out of the package. A little warm water or something, or a heat gun or blow dryer. We'll fix that. Okay, so Kingo's articulation, he can look down very little or somewhat, and of course it is on the dumbbell joint, so he doesn't get a whole lot of movement going up and going down. He looks up that much. You get a full rotation, of course, and lots of nice head pivot going on there. Shoulder you can get to go basically straight out, as you can see there. Then we get a full rotation. We have an upper bicep swivel in there. You get a double jointed elbow, pinless elbows, of course, on all of these Eternals figures, so nice bend there. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge with the horizontal hinge. We have the diaphragm joint on this guy, which seems to be not super loose, but a little bit, like, it's not going to wobble or anything, but it moves very easily usually when you don't want it to. But he could pivot to his left this much. He could pivot to his right that much. Going back isn't really a whole lot, but it is some. Coming forward is very little, so that kind of sucks. Get a swivel at that diaphragm joint, of course. There. Legs go out that far apart, but as you can see, the plastic is going to put itself back into place and is not really going to hold that far apart. You can kick forward only that high because that's as much as you're going to get it to kind of come out there. So not a great amount, but it works somewhat. There is an upper thigh cut in there. You get a double jointed elbow, so at least here you can actually use the knees, double jointed knees that are pinless. I always say elbows and knees at the wrong time, don't I? Foot hinges all the way down, hinges up quite a bit, ankle pivot pegals at the bottom of the feet. These are different feet from Icarus and Fastos. They do not use any of the same feet, and I know that comment had come up in like my Icarus video. They do not have the same feet. They are different. These ones definitely look much more proportioned, unlike Icarus's feet, which look like huge. So they are different feet. So there is his articulation, about on par with what we see with these other figures. Not the greatest, but he has decent movement, I would say. At least his legs aren't super hindered. Getting so close to having all the Eternals finished. Just a couple more figures. Druig will be the next review, and then after that we will get on to the Gilgamesh Build-A-Figure. So probably looking at Monday for that, unless I do those two videos late tonight and schedule out to be posted tomorrow. I'm taking a trip out to Monterey tomorrow with the kids just to kind of enjoy the day. So we shall see, but the Eternals, man, together these figures are looking really good, but I can understand, again, I get it. People don't like the designs. Okay, I was there with you before. Having these in hands and seeing the sculpted details of them and the colors and how they look together, they're pretty damn cool. But, you know, to each their own. Some people like them, some people don't. Some people hate them, some people love them. That's how it goes with collecting always. So, yeah. But the Eternals looking all very good together. And of course, if we throw in Crow, Crow's going to be too tall. But, you know, we also have Crow from the movie The Deviant Crow. Let's see if I can get his head down and get that into frame. A little bit. So I'm excited for the movie. Hopefully you guys are as well. Okay, so there is my figure review. You guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of the Kingo figure? What do you think of Kumail Nanjiani's transformation to get in the role of Kingo? I think the figure looks fantastic. He's got the best colors, in my opinion, the way they look together, the black, the purple, the gold, the silver, and whatever color this is. Maybe it's like a slate blue or slate grayish color, but looks absolutely fantastic. I love the design. He is easily now my favorite figure of the wave in terms of design and look. Icarus is probably the one that kind of moves around the best, but man, this figure is pretty awesome and I really like it. Hopefully you guys have picked one up, so either through Amazon or Walmart, or Target online, not Target in store, because again, Target will not have Kingo in store unless somebody ordered it and they did a return in store. You might randomly see it, but no Sprite, no Kingo. Those are going to be online only with Target. So they do those weird things when they get the assortment cases, but awesome looking figure. But you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.